Houston, it looked like we got a problem. Now that Terence Crawford is seemingly looking to sign with Golden Boy Promotions for what looks like could be a 3-fight deal, Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo may be forced to fight each other. But we're going to talk about that in this next video. But before we do that, make sure that you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a sub to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get all of my notifications when I drop these videos. Now, this weekend, we all saw that Terence Crawford went to the Golden Boy Promotions headquarters and he had a meeting with Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. And when asked about it, Oscar De La Hoya said that he's looking to sign Terence Crawford to a 3-fight deal at least. This is another duck move by Terence Crawford, shopping himself around, trying to go to Golden Boy Promotions, knowing that Golden Boy Promotions, they don't really do no business with Al Heyman. They have a beef with Al Heyman till this day. Before we even go there, I'm going to address this, and then I'm going to get back into what we're talking about with this video. I know a lot of people might say, oh, well, they're doing business with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis right now. The only reason that Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight has gotten this far in negotiations is because both fighters really, really want to fight. Also, Ryan Garcia, he threatened Oscar De La Hoya on several different occasions, and he threatened to leave Golden Boy Promotions if they didn't make the fight. And on the other side, Gervonta Tank Davis, he has a lot of pull with Showtime. He just left TMT, and so they want to make Tank Davis happy. So, this is the only reason that they're doing business together. A whole different situation when it comes to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, because in my eyes, you have one fighter that really wants to fight, and then you got another fighter that's bluffing, acting like he wants to fight. So with all of that being said, if Terence Crawford does sign with Golden Boy Promotions, this fight is not going to happen. And I'm going to give y'all several reasons why this fight is not going to happen. For one, when Oscar De La Hoya talked about signing Terence Crawford, he said he was looking to sign Terence Crawford to a 3-fight deal. Now, what Oscar said, he said he wants to sign Terence Crawford and first have him fight Alexis Rocha, another C-level fighter right up Terence Crawford's alley. Then he said after Alexis Rocha, he wants Terence Crawford to fight Virgil Ortiz. I doubt that he fights Virgil Ortiz, but we'll see, if he signs with Golden Boy. Now, right there, that's 2 fights. That's already 2 fights. That's going to be like a year and a half. Terence Crawford only fights once a year. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Terence Crawford fighting 3 times a year. So that pushes the Errol Spence back 2 years, a year and a half at least. At least it push it back a year and a half. You know what I'm talking about? Errol Spence already done told people he finna spin the block on Terence Crawford after this Keith Thurman or whoever he gonna fight next. And then he gonna move on if he can't make the fight with Terence Crawford. Now, if you listen to what I just said, Oscar De La Hoya said Alexis Rocha. He said Virgil Ortiz. Then he said Errol Spence is the 3rd opponent, the last resort. Errol Spence is not going to wait around a year and a half, 2 years, so he can fight Terence Crawford at 147 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And then if he did it at 154, it wouldn't make any sense because it no longer will be for undisputed. With all of that being said, Terence Crawford is a duck, and he's going to continue to prove that he's a duck if he does sign with Golden Boy. So let's get that out of the way. Now, as far as Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence, his slogan is strap season. We don't ever see Errol Spence get in the ring unless it's for a strap or he's defending his strap against a mandatory. All of his fights is strap season. He going to get all of the straps. Anywhere he go, Errol Spence, his slogan is strap season. With Errol Spence not being able to spin the block and get a Terence Crawford fight, well, he's going to have to go to 154 pounds permanently. He's been telling people for years, if I don't fight Terence Crawford, I'm going to 154. I can no longer make 147 pounds. The only reason I'm going to stay at 147 is for Terence Crawford and undisputed. Well, like I said, that doesn't look like it's going to go down. So he has to fight Jermell Charlo for any belts at 154, because Jermell Charlo, in the press conference for Tim Tszyu, Jermell Charlo spoke about, how easy it is for him to make 154 pounds. And he spoke about, not wanting to move up to 160 because he's comfortable at 154. Now, with that being said, if Jermell Charlo doesn't move up to 160 pounds and he does what he say that he wants to do, if he stays at 154, he's either going to have to drop some of the titles and Errol Spence can fight for vacant belts. And really, I don't see Errol Spence doing that. Or he's going to be forced to fight Errol Spence. Him and Errol Spence are going to have to fight each other. Yeah, they both have the same trainer, but Derrick James is Errol Spence's trainer. So if they ever did fight each other, Errol Spence would be getting trained by Derrick James, and then Jermell Charlo would be forced to have to find another trainer. Now, we've heard Errol Spence in the past say that he's down to fight Jermell Charlo if they paying him a lot of money. Jermell Charlo, he said he ain't really down to fight Errol Spence. When this situation comes about, and it looks like that this situation is getting closer and closer, if Jermell Charlo just drop his titles and say, you know what, Errol Spence, you can fight for a vacant belt and I'll keep the rest of the 3 titles, eventually Errol Spence is going to want the rest of those titles. So every time Errol Spence come up for another title, if Jermell Charlo is willing to just drop his belts, the fans ain't going to accept that. And you know how the fans are. The fans are going to start calling Jermell Charlo all type of ducks. They're going to start saying that he's afraid of Errol Spence. And they're going to start talking about how Errol Spence was whooping up on Jermell Charlo in sparring. Now, I don't know if that ever happened, but it's been rumors for years that Errol Spence was whooping up on him in sparring. I wasn't there, so I can't really speak on it. We know how this is going to go. And like I said, Errol Spence ain't the type of fighter that's just going to continue to fight for vacant belts. And Errol Spence definitely ain't the fighter that's going to campaign at a weight division and not fight for the straps. So with Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence, it's looking like that he's forcing Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo to come together and have to get it on. Now, would I like to see the fight? Yeah, I would like to see the fight. But Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, they real good friends in the same training camp. They have the same trainer. So to me, it'll be a chess match. I do favor Errol Spence, but it would be a chess match because they didn't spar together a lot of times. Errol Spence knows exactly what Jermell Charlo gonna do. Jermell Charlo, he know what Errol Spence is gonna do. It's just gonna come down to who got the bigger heart and really who got the better IQ at the end of the day. And yeah, I do got Errol Spence, like I said. But, people gonna start calling for this fight. If people gonna really start calling for this fight very soon, people are gonna start demanding this fight. And the boxing world is not gonna accept Jermell Charlo just dropping belts so Errol Spence can fight for vacant belts. And Errol Spence, he ain't gonna continue to accept that either. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence, he don't fight tune-ups. He don't fight for vacant titles. He want to fight the champ. Real talk. So does Jermell Charlo do what he said he don't want to do? Does he just go ahead and move up to 160 even though he doesn't want to? And then you got to think, at 160 pounds, ain't really no money in that weight division. It's more money at 154. It's bigger fights at 154. So, if Jermell Charlo moves up, yeah, people gonna say, oh, he's running from Errol Spence. But, they cool with each other. But if he just start dropping titles, people ain't gonna accept that. So they might find themselves in a position to where the whole world is demanding it. PBC is offering a lot of money for the fight, and they might find themselves in a position to where they might end up having to fight each other. And this all comes down to Terence Crawford ducking Errol Spence. Plain and simple. I like the fight. It's the best fight in the best. But, we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are going to end up having to fight each other? How do y'all see this playing out? Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit the like button. And y'all already know how I do. There you go talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.